Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the mess, baby. So, GloRilla, can you imagine calling the cops and then you gotta go to jail? Whoa, Nelly. All right, so listen to this. This is according to people.com. So, GloRilla breaks silence on arrest for alleged felony drug possession after burglary attempt. GloRilla is speaking out after being arrested on felony charges following a burglary attempt in her Georgia home. The 25-year-old rapper, whose real name is Gloria Hallelujah Woods, voluntarily turned herself into the Forsyth County Jail on Tuesday, July the 22nd, after police allegedly discovered marijuana and a controlled substance while responding to a July the 20th burglary attempt that she was not present for, according to a statement provided to People by the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. So this is what she had to say on her Twitter account. Crazy. My house got home invaded Saturday while I was in Indianapolis performing for the WNBA All-Star game, and instead of focusing on finding the suspects, they focused on some cannabis. One, so no, I wasn't busted. Two, because people were saying that she got busted. Two, my house got robbed, and then three, I wasn't home. Long story short, hold up, y'all. Oh, girl. Sorry, y'all. I clicked on the show more. Okay, here we go. Long story short, my house gets home invaded, and I'm the only one that gets arrested. So that's T. All right. A rep for GloRilla did not immediately respond to People's request for comment. A call for a burglary in progress came at 1:30 a.m. local time, per the sheriff's office statement. It was reported that three suspects had entered the home and were in the process of stealing items when an armed occupant fired at the intruders. I know that's right. Baby, baby. I don't know who it was who broke into that girl's house, but baby, somebody. Let me just say something, and then we're gonna get back to the story. I cannot stand a thief, and I feel like if you're gonna steal, don't steal from like the corporations. Okay, I do not like. I don't like the type of thief girl that breaks into a person's home. I think that is probably one of the biggest invasions of privacy. I think that is one of the things that would probably make me want to pack my panties, girl, and get up out of Dodge. Baby, y'all can have this whole house. I, the evil in me would hope that whoever broke into that girl's house, that their family members would have been walking around her by next week with your face on the front of a t-shirt talking about sunrise and sunset. People work too hard for their stuff. And because y'all want to take the quick route to go and steal something and try to sell it, you almost got your brains splattered all across somebody's wall. I think I would have been more pissed off. Girl, girl, that your brains got on my wall. Girl, now we in here scrubbing the walls trying to get this blood off my walls. Anyways, um, the suspects fled the scene, and it does not appear that any of them were struck. I wish one of them would have got struck. I really do. I really do. That sounds so mean. But y'all breaking into that girl's house. I'm glad whoever was there was strapped. Y'all gonna get enough. As a result, the regional drug task force was contacted and responded to the residents. Police obtained a search warrant and reported finding a significant amount of marijuana in GloRilla's master bedroom closet. Can I say something? I think that it is absolutely ridiculous that in 2025, girl, y'all smell a little, girl, y'all smell a little green, and y'all got to get search warrants and stuff. Girl, y'all act like a bitches downstairs, girl, with their bra and panties on, girl. stirring some stuff up. Okay? I think that in 2025, every place, it should be legal to have marijuana. You know what I think is crazy? Girl, we just talking. You know what I think is crazy? And this is coming from somebody who likes a cocky every now and again. Cocky. Girl, some of y'all gonna be like, girl, you said cock. No, I said cocky. Okay? A cocktail. Okay? A libation. um, I do think that it is weird that with all of the accidents that we have had due to alcohol, you would think that there would the laws would be different. Like for alcohol, it would probably be illegal because girl, people die like every day. Girl, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying I ain't never heard of nobody dying from no weed. I ain't never heard nobody out there causing a 15-car collision because girl, they just had an edible. Now I have heard of people causing girl collisions because they done had too many shots of Casamigos, 1800, Tito's, vodka, girl, tequila. I ain't even gonna name no brands. Tequila, Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? No, but for real though, those, all jokes aside, girl, we hear this stuff all the time about people unfortunately losing family members because people have gotten behind the wheel of a car drunk. People have taken themselves out due to drinking too much alcohol poisoning. So you would just think that the rules will be a lot more stricter when it comes to, or the laws will be a lot more stricter when it comes to alcohol versus like weed. That's so weird to me. Y'all don't think that's weird? But that's just me, though. As a result, the Memphis native was charged with the felony possession of marijuana and possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. After voluntarily turning herself into custody, GloRilla was released on a $22,260 bond. Girl, that is ridiculous, girl. Following her tweet addressing the arrest, the TGIF rapper returned to social media with a seemingly subtle message. I think that's a mess. I think that's a mess. I would be pissed off on some real shit. Girl, I know I got weed in this house. And I know, girl, clearly it's against the law in Georgia. Um, what places can you I think it's legal in New York, right? I'm almost sure because when I was in New York, girl, I'm almost sure it's legal in New York. Because when I was in New York, like just walking around, girl, looking at niggas and shit, you know how we do. I think I remember people just walking down the street just smoking. I'm almost sure. Hmm. Let's Google it. Hold up. Let's see. I think it is though. Let me see. We're gonna learn something today. Is weed legal in New York? Oh, okay. Yeah, NYC Gov. Cannabis, marijuana, baby. Okay, yes, it is legal for adults 21 and older to possess up to 3 ounces of cannabis and up to 24 grams of concentrated cannabis outside of your home for personal use in New York. You are allowed to store up to 5 pounds of cannabis in your home. Okay, okay. This is as according to NYC.gov, baby. I knew I wasn't tripping. Yeah, the girls be walking down the street just puffing, baby, having the time of their life, and you got bitches getting arrested in Georgia. Baby, take your asses to New York and get the fuck up out of Georgia. Anyways, I don't smoke, Um, I'm more of a, I'm champagne fish now. You know, I'm a rich black man, so I drink champagne. I'm champagne. I don't deal with that hard shit no more. That shit. I just saw the bold face lie, bitch. I just took a shot of tequila. I can't even lie to y'all straight. You can't even lie. Just took a shot of Don Julio Actifulio. Girl, I needed a little pick me up. I was about to go live, and I was like, "No, girl, we're gonna be on live all night long." I need a little pick me up. Um, yeah, so I was like, let me just take a shot of tequila to get me up a little bit. And so here we are. But yeah, I'm more of a champagne wine type of boy now. That gasolina, girl, I say that for the young girls and boys. Girl, they do too much to my body, babe. I'm too old for that shit now. Okay, look at this. Anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and move on. Shout out to GloRilla though. All right, so this is according to the Jasmine brand. So Jussie Smollett reportedly says Netflix doc will prove his 2019 attack wasn't a hoax. Jussie Smollett is telling his side. In January 2019, the actor claimed he was the victim of a hate crime in Chicago, telling police he was attacked by two men who shouted racist and homophobic slurs. He was later accused of staging the incident and convicted on multiple counts of disorderly conduct. Now, according to Block Club Chicago, Smollett told a group of community leaders that an upcoming Netflix documentary will include never before seen video he claims supports his versions of events. They found the actual footage of the people that jumped me, and it just corroborates every single thing I've said for the last 7 years. Netflix is expected to release the truth about Jussie Smollett on August the 22nd. The film is the first to feature an interview with Smollett and will include footage obtained through an FOIA request that he says came too late to be used in his 2021 trial. Will you be tuned in?
In this moment, to the left,
Girl, no. You know, they say Jussie got engaged to some black guy. So shout out to Jussie. Jussie, this is a thing, right? Jussie could be telling the truth, but at this point, girl, we don't care, Jussie. Jussie, we don't care. Jussie, we don't care. And Jussie, can I say something? Jussie is not even. Girl, I do not want to sound mean, but Jussie is not that big of a star for us to give a fuck. We just don't like. Girl, it made the headlines because it was mess and it was salacious. But other than that, like Jussie ain't no Denzel White. Like it's not to the point. Like we don't care, girl. So whatever is in the documentary, if it does prove that he told the truth, I mean, girl, I'll come back down here and be like, girl, I told y'all. So I told y'all my man was telling the truth. You see, now he gonna be back to being my man. Now he gonna go back to being my man. I told y'all my man was telling the truth. Y'all don't never want to believe a nigga. Okay. That's the problem now. Okay. Um, but I don't think most people would care. I really honestly don't. I don't think that most people would care about the documentary. I don't think people are gonna care what's in the documentary. I don't even think people are gonna watch. At this point, I think the best thing for Jussie is to just try and whatever little self-respect that people probably whatever respect people still have from him, just try to make his career the best out of it. I almost guarantee you that if Jussie stops talking about this, it will eventually kind of like go away. I don't think it's one of those things because Jesse is just Jussie, whatever the nigga name is. Jussie is not that big of a star. Well, it will come up in interviews probably, but it's not like a Rihanna Chris Brown situation where it's gonna always follow Chris Brown. It's gonna always follow Rihanna. You see what I'm saying? Like eventually people will probably just ask about it here and there, but I don't think people are that invested in Jussie Smollett to really just like keep this over his head. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so this is according to TMZ. So Cardi B sued for assault, battery by woman allegedly struck by microphone. Baby. So Cardi B has been accused of assault and battery by an anonymous woman who she allegedly threw a microphone at during a day party in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. The Jane Doe is suing the rapper for a 2023 incident where Cardi was performing at Drea's Beach Club, where she asked people in the crowd to throw water at her to beat the triple digit heat. However, the individual says when she threw water at Cardi at several people in the audience, the rapper responded by hitting that bitch with a mic instead. They ain't put it that way. Attorney Sierra N. Norris, who is representing Jane Doe, is holding a press conference on Thursday in Vegas. We actually showed you video at the time showing Cardi seemingly responding positively to some people who threw water at her before another video captured her throwing the mic into the crowd. Cardi was investigated by police at the time, but ultimately was not charged in the incident. The microphone was sold for $99,000 shortly after the incident, which the Jane Doe claims exacerbated her emotional distress. The owner of the wave told us at the time that the money was going to two charities, the Wounded Warrior Project and local Vegas charity, Friendship Circle Las Vegas. Cardi B is being sued for assault, battery, negligence, and more. We've reached out to Cardi's rep, who had no comment. But I thought, from what I understand, I thought the girl who's suing, I thought she was the one who threw like a bottle or something at Cardi. Remember? And then Cardi, unless when Cardi threw the microphone, it just hit some random person, then okay, I understand that. But I think the person who's suing is the one who Cardi actually hit. I could be wrong though, but I think I remember us saying, baby, Cardi got some good aim, baby. The bitch who hit her, she hit her right back like pow. That bitch to a microphone and knocked that bitch right upside her skull. Anyway, Sha, it is what it is, honey. Everybody getting sued. I guess we'll find out the truth. All right, y'all. Shout out to Cardi B. May the odds be in your favor, girl. Okay, so some of you may not know this person, but Scheana Shay, she was a cast member on Vanderpump Rules. Um, Vanderpump Rules was on for what I know over 10 seasons. I watched it when it first, well, not when it first came out. My sister used to watch it, and then she was like, "You need to watch this show called Vanderpump Rules." I was like, "I'm not worried about the white hoes. I'm not watching no white people." She was like, "No, it's really, really good." And I was like, "Okay, girl." So I think I tuned in like season 2, maybe. I think maybe like season 2 or probably like the end of season 1. I can't remember. But I watched like a few seasons, and it was my show. I used to love Vanderpump Rules. And then I kind of like got out of it, but I would always stick my head, in here and there just to see what was going on. So I kind of like kept up with the mess, but I wasn't as invested as I was, when I was actually watching, the full seasons. Anyways, so one of the cast members, Scheana Shay, according to page 6, reveals bombshell list of her Hollywood hookups, including 2 boy band heartthrobs, the Notebook actors, and more. Baby. Scheana Shay is another person who I don't think nobody really cares about. I could be wrong though. I think as of right now, the only girl that people really will want to know about, hear from, is probably Ariana. Girl Raquel, baby, Raquel was a hoe, baby. I think Raquel was a hoe, baby. I think Raquel was a hoe, baby. Raquel, I think, was kissing on Garcelle's son. I think she kissed Tom. And of course, she slept with the other Tom. Can I say something about Tom? Oh, I'm about to be real messy, girl. It's that tequila shot I took earlier. A part of me feels like Tom fucked around. I don't know what. Something about Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz, girl. Tom, they give me like one night they just got drunk and probably sucked each other off. I'm telling you, that's what they give me. They give me some shit like that. And they just said we're never gonna talk about it again. I feel like it probably happened like 2 or 3 times. I just whenever I look at Tom, that's what I get. I get like, oh girl, white boys, they don't mind a circle, what they call them, a circle jerk, a jerk circle. Girl, they don't mind sitting in front of, they don't mind, they'll be playing Xbox and put some girl and put some little, put OnlyFans on and pull their pants down. And honey, start beating their meat. They don't mind it. Okay. That's a little gay if you ask me, but honey, we pull it comes in right now, girl. We pull our pants down, baby. Let me shut up. But yeah. Anyways, so this is according to page6.com. She's kissing and telling. Scheana Shay bombshell list of stars. She has allegedly hooked up with ranges from Hollywood stars and band boy heartthrobs to NFL, NBA, and NLB athletes. I said to myself, okay, Scheana, you've tried dating or at least hanging out and hooking up with all of these celebrities, she wrote in her new memoir, My Good Side, which came out Tuesday. I don't think nobody gonna buy this book. They could though. I just never really saw Scheana as one of like the girls of the show. I used to always think Stassi was the head bitch in charge, and then even though Christian wasn't like, I always looked at the faces of the show as like Christian, Stassi, Jax. Scheana never really gave me like face of the show, if that makes sense. I don't think people will be interested in Scheana, but again, girl, I stopped kind of watching after what season 4, somewhere around there. So maybe Sheena is probably one of those girls of the on the show, but I don't think so. Anyways, so these are some of the people that she dated slash hooked up with. Girl. Jesse Metcalf, Eddie Cibrian. Ooh, baby Eddie. Baby. Eddie, that's the one who cheated on Brandy. And married Leanne Rhymes. That nigga still fine. Eddie, baby, Eddie is still fine to this day. That's a fine ass man. I remember one time on Twitter, I had posted a girl, bitch. I had posted a picture of Eddie on my Instagram page, and I was like, "Baby, Eddie fine as hell," and Leanne Rhymes liked the post. I swear to God, I was like, "Baby, Eddie," I was like, "This man is fine as hell," and Leanne Rhymes liked the post. It was on my Instagram page. Anyways, John Mayer, Shamar Moore, Shamar still fine too. That's an old ass fine ass nigga. Josh Hopkins, Shane West, Jesse McCartney, JC Chavez. That's the guy from NSYNC, I believe. Adrian Greener, Ricardo Chavari, William Tell, 2 actors from The Notebook, and a few NFL, NBA, and MLB players, to name a few. And that's not really working out. The Vanderpump Rules alum added, "Girl, you sound like a baby Sheena, baby, that puss is hot." Yeah, baby, Sheena been fucking down. Now I don't know. I don't know. She did all these men. Some of them she said she dated. Girl, Sheena married too, and she got kids.
There's a lot of things kids need in life, but few of them need to know that their mama was a hoe.
Shay 40 said she realized she needed to take a break from dating famous men and baby risk that pocketbook, baby. That pocketbook sounded like it was on fire. I got good punani na 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 na. I got good punani na. It's time to switch things up and date someone who's under the radar. I didn't want any of the fanfare or the complications that came with being linked to someone famous, she wrote. I wanted to be with someone who was grounded. Elsewhere in her book, she made a rare comment about her affair with then married Eddie Cibrian. I first laid eyes on Eddie a few months later when he stepped off the elevator at the Cigar Lounge where he played poker on Tuesday nights. She wrote about the Sunset Beach actor who was married to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum Brandy Glanville from 2001 to 2010. If you were to ask me when I was growing up what my exact type was, to a T, it was Eddie. Tall, dark, and handsome with dimples. The second we made eye contact, he smiled at me with those dimples, and I melted. And I went in the back and started sucking dick. She didn't put that part. I added that. The Bravo celebrity claimed she didn't realize Siberian 52 was married because he allegedly never wore a wedding ring, and their fling was pre-social media. Anyways, girl, it just goes on to talk about how she's married to Brock. They say Brock ain't shit. Girl, I used to think when Brock first got on the show, I was like, damn, Brock is a fine ass, thick ass white man. Girl, Brock used to be so fine to me until I heard. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put this out there. But I'm about to put it out there. Girl, I heard Brock was an ain't shit man. And I heard he don't know how to keep his hands to himself. And I heard he got a couple of kids floating around in Australia. Because I think Brock is from Australia, right? This is Scheana's second marriage, because remember she was married to the other white guy? And remember remember on the episode when they were making fun, Stassi Stassi was a bitch. Remember when Stassi was talking about Scheana's wedding? Stassi was a bitch. Stassi was in charge of them girls though. Remember they were making fun of Scheana's wedding dress? I think it was Stassi. Hmm. Anyways, girl, I'll put the link to the article if y'all want to read more about Scheana Shay and all these niggas who she fucked in Hollywood. Baby, Scheana made her rounds, baby, from white, girl, Hispanic, niggas. Okay? Scheana said, baby, if I got a dick between their legs, baby, I want a piece of it. I know that's right. Girl, Scheana, you a mess. Anyways, shout out to Scheana Shay. All right, y'all, I'm gone. I'm probably about to finish watching, because I never finished watching Sinners. I started watching it on the plane, and then I didn't scream, but I jumped. This was like right at the beginning. I'm not going to say what it was just in case you haven't watched it, but I was probably like 10, 15 minutes in and something happened that made me jump. And I was like, oh, girl, you don't need to watch this on the plane. So I turned it off. So I need to finish watching that. All right, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.